Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the Ham and Spam Retro Review, the podcast where we like to review retro games, movies, TV shows, and everything in between.
Check us out on all the social medias, including Twitter, where you can find us at Ham and Spam Games, Instagram, which is also at Ham and Spam Games, Facebook at Ham and Spam, and even YouTube. Just search Ham and Spam Retro Review. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy.
We're back.
We are finally back after a very joyous and extended layoff
Hiatus.
if you will. We are finally back for season 4. This is season 4, right? That's what we're calling season 4. Mayhaps.
I think you're right.
I think it is. So we're back, season premiere. Full disclosure, because that's what we do. We took the hiatus because we knew we were going to be busy in the fall, and we were going to record a ton of episodes to be released. So we're not, trying to go balls to the wall and record everything at the very, very last minute.
What to the wall now?
Balls.
Like footballs and basketballs?
Yeah,
okay.
dodgeballs.
Yeah, that's what that means.
So
yeah, we're like, we got the whole summer.
We're going to play so many video games. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to record all these episodes on the front side. No. True to Ham and Spam fashion, we've procrastinated. We have played video games. I will say that. We have played video games. We have procrastinated.
Yeah, we've done some stuff.
At the moment of this recording, we have one other episode pre-recorded, and that's it. So, Hammy, how's your layoff been? What have you been up to? A little bit of work. A little bit of work on one job over and over and over.
Yeah. Some sweating because it's been hot.
And some swimming because it's been wet.
Yeah. A lot of rain, a lot of heat.
Yeah. Well, I
saw a predator moving through my woods the other day.
I think we're on the backside of the rain, hopefully. But man, it's hot today. There's 104 heat index.
It's supposed to be 110 tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we are literally recording this the Sunday before this comes out. So, hold on, I didn't say that right. No, not today. I can't remember how we're doing this before it comes out on Sunday. Does that work better?
Okay.
This is the 29th, and it's supposed to release on
the Monday before Christmas on Friday.
You know what? I'm just going to end the podcast right here. Thanks everybody for joining in on season 4, and this is the end of the Ham and Spam Retro Review. Yeah, and in 2 days is somebody's birthday. It's not yours, so obviously it's mine.
It's Spam's birthday.
So Hammy was nice enough to get me a couple of presents. I've posted those on our show Instagram if you want to go and check those out.
I do.
It is a shadow box of a Sonic the Hedgehog scene from Sonic 1, where he's going through the loop-de-loop. Very cool. And then he was also very nice and was able to find the Super Nintendo wireless controllers for the Switch. So now I can play my beloved Donkey Kong Country with actual Super Nintendo controllers.
Oh, it makes a huge difference.
It does. Thank you, by the way. I know I've said that already, but I'm going to thank you again here on the show. So,
de nada.
What have I been up to? Well, I'm glad you asked. We have started football. We have started our high school football season with summer workouts. So we've been doing that, coupled with just trying to get some stuff done around the house too. So mostly watching it rain. While it's been raining, we've been playing video games and doing show prep and things like that. So
it's actually been a pretty busy hiatus.
It really has. It's just not been podcast busy. So with all that said, we still hope, and there's might be a small asterisk there, to get you a episode per week. We're going to see how this goes, because coming up, the only day I'm going to have off at a decent hour is going to be Saturday. So these usually release on Sunday. We should be fine to record these on Saturday and get these done up. And like I said, we've been playing games, so we should be good.
Pertinent to our reviews.
Yes. Also, and I think I've put this on our Facebook page, that we have been in discussions with other people that have been listening to the podcast. And it's been brought to our attention that a lot of times people listen to the podcast and have no idea what we're talking about because we stick primarily to games. But there's a lot of people that say the movie reviews are something they can kind of get behind, because whereas not a whole lot of people play video games, and again, I use that loosely, but our core audience does, but a lot of people in general don't play video games, but almost everybody watches movies. So we're probably going to put a few more movies in this season just to try to broaden the audience a little bit more.
And if you like it, let us know. If you don't, let us know.
And if you don't let us know, then it's your fault.
There you go.
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, I'm excited to be back in the recording studio, Lush Ham and Spam recording studio.
With this massive tray of assorted cookies.
Yes. Thank you to my wife who did that. If you hear rumblings and smacking later, that is Hammy and I enjoying cookies unprofessionally, enjoying cookies whilst we record. So
yes, most people would wait until they're done recording, but
not us.
We suffer from gluttony.
True that. So before we get started, anything else we want to talk about, touch on real quick?
I got a Series X.
You finally did get a Series X, and how long did it stay in your room untouched before you finally unpackaged it?
3 weeks. How busy I was with work.
Well, I mean, that's how busy you are, but again, we say this all the time. 10-year-old you is kicking yourself in the pants right now, because that would never happen.
Well, 10-year-old me gets upset he can do some of this work and give me a break.
Well, that's true. That's true. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, we just gave our whole summer.
There you go.
We just updated our whole entire summer in 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's like, wow, that's kind of sad, guys.
Work and nothing. Yeah. Well, 37.
No, we went on an adventure. I went to some island, solved a mystery. No, we just worked, cut grass, and ate well.
Very well. Very well. Okay, so let's get into it. Season premiere. We're going to touch on I feel like we use this all the time, but iconic front part of a series, because this is one of those that's ongoing, and we didn't want to overdo it with doing the entire series. So, and we didn't want to just focus on one game, because, well, it's let's just talk about it. It's the first three of the first 4, if you want to get technical. Mario Karts. Thank you. I was waiting for that. Super Mario Karts.
Well, only one of them was Super.
For Super Nintendo. They're not all Super?
No, see, look, it just says Mario Kart.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
See, even the original I called just Mario Kart.
Well, everything on Super Nintendo was Super something. It was Super Castlevania. It wasn't just Castlevania 4. Yeah.
But see, they already had a Castlevania also.
Well, so it wasn't just Earth Defense Force. It was Super Earth Defense Force.
You're right.
It's like, we want to release this game on your platform.
It's not just Zelda Link to the Past. It's Super Zelda Link to the Past. I think that's the only first-party game that didn't do. Well, Donkey Kong Country didn't do it.
I'm surprised. I don't know how they split that
Super
through.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Everything has to be super.
That's what they did in Japan. Everything was super. Super everything.
Was that around time Goku went Super Saiyan on Dragon Ball?
Could be. Or not.
That's about the right time.
I don't know.
People were obsessed with
it. In Clint's timeline, Goku didn't go Super Saiyan until it's 2000, wasn't it?
It was 2001 on October 18th.
Well, the reason why I remember that it was on your birthday. I could not remember the year.
Yeah.
Best birthday present ever. Never be topped.
Nope.
So, real quick, let's talk about Super Mario Kart. Again, very iconic. This is the first one of the genre. This is the one that kind of kicked off I guess, a little bit of everybody doing the kart genre, right?
Yeah, and it just kind of came out of nowhere for me. Remember the commercials though? How over the top they were.
Very.
Oh, those were great.
I loved the fact that they took something that didn't really have a place, like kart racing. Okay, you can go play a racing game. I mean, and I'll have to go back and look. I don't remember when F-Zero come out, but you ended up with F-Zero. You had all your other racing games, but this is the one where Nintendo said, "Hey, let's take our guys, our intellectual properties, and let's make them into kart racers. All the karts are the same. It's basically a level playing field, and we're going to put these power-ups in there that make you go fast, that make you, throw shells at people, put out banana peels, all that kind of stuff. And it's a very fun racer.
And boy, did they strike gold.
Well, look no further than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah, top selling Switch game.
And how old is it? 4 years?
Oh, no. The 8 itself is much older.
It came out on Wii U.
Right.
That's right. Wow.
But the deluxe, it was like 18, 19.
Okay. So yeah, I didn't think about it being that old.
See, I had it on Wii U. My Wii U came with Mario Kart 8.
Okay.
And it was great. Then I thought, man, I wish more than 12 people on the Wii U so they could play this.
Well, that's another story for another time. I don't want to get into that right now. But so you had your iconic characters. You had your Mario, you had Luigi, you had your favorite
Koopa
Troopa. You had Donkey Kong Jr. So this is kind of before they said, "Hey, we're gonna make a game featuring Donkey Kong." So you still had Donkey Kong Jr. in the Super Nintendo version of Mario
Who's still
Kart.
the same Donkey Kong, right?
Still the same Donkey Kong, but he was the kid form in Super Mario Kart.
Right.
You had Bowser.
Yeah.
You had Peach.
Toad.
You had Toad. I said Peach.
Yeah, you did. Yoshi,
and it seems like there might have been one more. I think there's only 6 racers in that one.
No,
there had to be 8. There's 8 places.
You had the Mario Brothers.
2.
You had Peach
and
Yoshi.
That's 4.
The Toad. Donkey Kong, 5, Koopa.
6, 7. Bowser. Yeah, 8.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Okay. So
you know what's funny? When I first got this game, I was playing on a black and white TV.
As we all were.
That's how old I am. No, actually there was colored TVs. I just that's all I had. But
well, no, see your parents like mine were too cheap to go buy another color TV because the original color TV that you got was probably the living room TV.
Well, it was originally a color TV. I don't know what happened, but when I got my Super Nintendo, it had color, but by the time I got this game, it went out. So I played this game a ton without any color. I didn't know if I had a green shell or red shell. I just had to fire it off and see what happened.
It tracked him. It's red.
Yeah. But yeah, so I didn't get to see how colorful and vibrant the game was for so long.
Well, and this is one of the first times that I remember not so much a screen cheat, but like a split screen.
Yeah.
They had it on the Genesis with Sonic 2 with the little bit of a battle mode that they had in it, and I do remember that. But this is really one of the first times I remember a split screen like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was obviously a good 2-player game, and then it also introduced a battle mode. And then
which was a lot of fun to me. The original one was.
Yes.
I used to play with Jeremy a lot, the battle mode.
Okay. I thought it was also neat too that if you were by yourself, you could. It still split the screen. It had a thing underneath it, right? Like a map underneath it.
Yeah, it showed you where everyone was.
But then it also had the HUD map kind of up in the corner.
Had a rearview mirror.
It had a rearview mirror, which was very futuristic, I guess. I mean, I'm using air quotes there, but that's just stuff you don't see in 16-bit games.
Well, they thought of a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. And that's kind of what made it unique and made it one of a kind at the time.
And the game being what it was fun. It was funny. It was wholesome, and and it drew in a lot of people. It drew in a lot of people that usually didn't play video games.
Well, see, and I think this right here's one of those games that kind of kicked off the, hey, let's put Mario in other scenarios, because you put Mario on the title, it's going to sell.
Pretty much.
You know, it wasn't on the Super, but you ended up with getting your Mario Party games with 64. Then you ended up with your golf and your tennis. There's a soccer game at one point too. I don't know if it was on 64. I think it was on Cube.
Super Mario Strikers.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? What else has spawned off of this?
Olympics.
The Olympics with Sonic.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing we watched the other day about Super Mario Land 3 Wario World.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Wario's game, but they put Mario in the title to sell it.
Yeah, and it did. And
it does. I mean, that's kids are going to say it's Mario. I want that. Adults are going to say it's Mario. I want that.
Yeah, 40-year-olds are going to say that, or in 3 years, 40-year-olds are going to be saying
about
that.
40-year-olds now.
We've already established that your favorite character was Koopa Troopa. I think by default, because your favorite character was Koopa Troopa, mine was. But obviously, this is not a time where you could have doppelganger racers,
right?
So you had to pick one or the other.
Well, they all had their different perks and stats, kind of. Like Koopa was really good with handling. That's why I liked him. Very good turning. Like Yoshi had really fast acceleration.
Right.
Bowser was big. You couldn't push him around, but he had a really high top speed.
Yeah.
And I think
that's because he started slow. And I thought that was a great thing to have character attributes, even at the Super Nintendo level.
Right.
Your smaller characters were faster, and your bigger characters were slower, but they were more powerful. Like they couldn't be hit off the map. You couldn't hit them for the coin. And
like if you ran into them, it would knock you back instead of knocking them. And then Mario and Luigi were just balanced.
Right. So you kind of had your light, medium, and heavy characters. And that's something that even till today carries forward. You know, if you've got a heavy character, it's hard to knock him out of the way. And if you're a light character going against a heavy character, you're more likely going to get bounced off yourself.
Right.
Explain the coin system in this game.
Well, they brought it back for 8.
Right.
You got to get 10 coins so you can get your full speed. If you don't have 10 coins, it's like you're not hitting all your cylinders.
Okay.
And so you've got to get 10 so you can achieve your maximum speed that you can go.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's not necessary. It just helps a lot.
Well, see, that was a feature that went away all the way up until 8.
Oh, yeah.
So good feature. It required you to do, certain things to make sure you had everything in your arsenal to win, but it wasn't rememberable enough for them to keep it until they got to where they are now.
Well, it's kind of unnecessary.
Right. You could still win without the coins.
There was a limited number of coins.
Yeah.
Just like there was a limited number of power-ups.
Yes.
And they were on the ground too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But once you went over them, they were gone for the rest of the race.
Right. And see that was something, again, as these games kept coming out, they kept making improvements, saying, okay, hey, if we change this, how does this work? Does it make it more fun? Does it make it less fun? And I think that's one good thing about this series is every game that's come out has been a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Not saying that the first one was bad. The first one was groundbreaking in its time. I really do believe that.
Yeah. Well, they've had, each variation has some improvements, sometimes it feels like they regress a little. Let me ask you this. When you run over an item, did you keep hitting A?
Trying to make it go faster. Yeah. I was doing it when we were replaying.
I do too. I have ever since I've played this game. I don't know if it actually does it or not.
It seemed like on 64 it did. And I might be wrong in that, but was the power slide, was it in Super?
It was a hop too. You did a hop.
Yeah, you kind of hop. You could hop over things, little small things.
Because I can't remember. I know Double Dash didn't have the hop. I can't remember if 64 did.
64 did.
Okay.
Because every time you'd hit it, you'd have a little boing.
Yeah.
Kind of like, Batman hitting hitting Joker in the mouth and going pow.
Yeah, a little onomatopoeia.
Yeah. Look at you. I was going to say it. I didn't know if you'd pick up on it, but I like it.
I
Good
did.
job. For those of you that don't know, onomatopoeia are words that sound or are spelled like they are sound. Sound.
It's like saying you jump in the water and say splash.
Right.
But anywho,
Yeah.
Is
that our first rabbit trail?
Pig trail?
Ooh, see, you remembered. I like
Uh-huh.
it. Anything else? Favorite tracks? I mean, you started off. Everybody had their own track.
Yeah.
On Super, and then of course you had some that were very special. You had the different cups, so you could do the difficulty with the 50, 100, 150, and I think this one had a 200cc. Didn't
The
it?
original, I think, only went up to 2 or 150. I could be wrong.
Okay. Favorite track though, it's got to be. Well, I don't know with you. For me, it's got to be. I almost called it Star Road again.
Well,
It's got to be Rainbow Road for me.
Rainbow Road's a classic, but on Super Mario Kart, you had Mario Circuit 1, then you'd have Mario Circuit 2.
Right.
Bowser's Castle 1, blah blah blah. I really liked the ghost, like the haunted house,
Mm-hmm.
and the first Bowser's Castle, because I could lap everyone on it. I got really good at the turns and slides.
Yeah.
With Koopa, and I could just cut corners so quickly.
Well, see, that's another one that's balanced too. But I think he's a little better than balanced, to be honest with you. I think that's why you were so drawn to him. That and he was a bad guy.
No, he's just misunderstood. But I'm looking up now. There's one in particular. It's a map that it wasn't necessarily one of my favorites to race, but the music in that map is still one of my favorites. Oh, here it is. It's Koopa Beach. You'd think I would have remembered that.
Oh yeah,
the music to that was just fantastic to me. I don't know why. Yeah, Bowser's Castle 1 was outstanding. That first Rainbow Road, man. That was a great track. I remember at Jeremy's one time racing on 150cc, and I finally won the special cup on the hardest difficulty. I made that last turn on Rainbow Road, used my mushroom and passed like 3 people to win. And it was what I needed to get first.
And again, this was a very competitive yet very fun game to play, for it to be only 2 players. Then, moving forward in the timeline, this was 92.
Well, some of the items.
Okay.
Because this introduces a lot of items that are going to be there.
Well, this also introduces items that's not there anymore. This had a feather in it, did it not?
It did, and the feather has returned for 8, I think.
Okay.
But only in certain modes, maybe. I haven't really looked into it too much.
Right. You just play it.
I haven't played it as much as I want to. I'm used to getting green shells and banana peels because I'm usually in first, so. Had the green shell, just fire it straight. Or you could, I don't know if you could shoot it back or just it would like lay it in the first one. I can't remember. I think it shot it back. Red shell, salt out
the person right in front of you.
Right. Banana peel, you lay it, they hit it.
Or you can throw it forward.
You could. And I got really good at throwing it forward on that game. The mushroom gives you a boost. You had the star made you invincible for a little bit, and you could run into people and obstacles and just knock them out of the way. It made you a little faster.
Right.
Then the feather made you jump. And the feather was great because there were some awesome shortcuts.
Right.
Especially in the haunted house, the first one, there was a shortcut. If you got a feather, you could cut off like a lot of time.
Right.
Trying to think.
Lightning bolt?
Lightning bolt was in there, yeah. Shrunk everyone else but you, and also took their items. It didn't give you their items, it just took them away.
I know it was in 64, but was there a ghost?
There was a ghost in Super. I'm about 80% sure. And
did you take somebody else's item, or did you?
Item.
Okay.
Yeah, and you couldn't be. I think you couldn't be hit by a red shell. I can't remember. That's another one I didn't get much. I really didn't.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. But even when you get up there to the upper difficulties, the computer can race,
Yeah.
and everybody gets a little more even, I guess. When you're the 50cc, you're pretty much the fastest one. It's the easy mode.
Yeah.
And then you got the 100cc, which is kind of your medium. Well, much like in some of the others that we've played, you have to unlock the 150cc in Super.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you also have to unlock the Special Cup. The Special Cup isn't just opened up. You have to win a cup on 100 to unlock the Special Cup. I think it's Star. I think you had to unlock Star.
Yeah.
Or beat Star on 100 to unlock the Special. So, a good game. I wasn't a Super Nintendo kid, so I didn't play it a whole lot outside of whenever I went to your house.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say about this one. But a lot of those items would come back later. The battle mode had its own maps on courses. It was fun. That's actually the only Mario Kart that I played battle mode a lot. And it seems like it was 4-player. No, it couldn't be.
It was a splitter for the Super.
It may have been,
but I don't know if this game was
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking 4-player. So I'm thinking back to when I'd go over to Jeremy's, and I knew we played this a lot.
There's only 2.
Okay, I'm getting it mixed up in my mind with GoldenEye because we.
It's 2 separate games. Well, I mean, they were party games when you started. Well, yeah.
Look, when I go over to Jeremy's, his 2 brothers and the 2 of us would play a ton of games, and when it was GoldenEye, we would throw down some epic 4-player GoldenEye.
How interesting, and obviously this is something that kind of kept going forward, but how interesting was it that you were given the 3 balloons? Even in Super, you were given the 3 balloons, and the first one to hit the other 3 times wins, basically.
Right.
That to me is pretty ingenious for it to be a battle mode. It's not just you racing, because you might get somebody that's really, really terrible at racing, and I'm pointing at myself here. You might get somebody that's really terrible at racing and can't beat that other human player, but at least the battle mode kind of gives you a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
Because there's no laps. Hold on.
No, there's no laps.
Yeah, okay. There's no lap. You're just trying to hit the other person.
Yeah.
And take their balloons. Pop their balloons.
And Super Mario Kart, when you got hit by a shell or banana or went off the course, that recovery time was slow.
Yeah.
That was a major devastating blow to you.
And going back to the coins, if you went off the course, they would take 2 coins away from you. So it would force you to get your coins back to get back to your top speed. So
now you could pick up a coin. That's another pickup you can get. You'd run over the little question mark and get 2 coins.
Okay, yeah.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, because I got that. Oh my gosh. You know how frustrating it is when you're in first place
and you just want something.
You're trying to hold off people coming at you. You've got all 10 of your coins, and it's like, give me a banana peel, a shell, something, and it gives you 2 coins.
Yeah.
It's like, I've already got these. Why did you give this to me?
Well, and I tell you, there's something else that was kind of introduced in this game. And if we're going to critique just a little bit, this will be my one critique. And we've already covered this before we started recording. Super Mario Kart is the game where all of this started, where whenever you start racing, whatever character you have, you automatically have a rival. And you'll figure out that rival within the first race.
Yeah, you mean the person that's always finishing right behind you?
Always. And it's never like a competition for second and third. It's always a competition between you, more than likely being the first, the number 1 finisher, and then one person will always finish second.
Right. And that can come back to bite you, because if you have one bad game or one bad race, it can hurt you enough in the points if they can beat you because they've kept up with you.
Right, because in this one, the points were the 8, 6, and 4, or something like that. Maybe it's 6, 3, and 2. Shoot, I can't remember. We probably should have researched this game if we're going to talk.
I do know that this one had, I think 5 courses per cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Whereas the other ones going forward would have 4.
Right.
But now this game, man, I put so much time in this game. I would, and looking back, I did this a lot. I'd wake up on Sunday mornings, get ready for church, and have enough time to play something.
Right.
And this is one that I would just.
Well, it can be quick too.
That, and I would go in battle mode by myself to try to come up with strategies when I would play Jeremy again.
You son of. Okay, anyway.
I really would.
That's crazy.
Like there was one map, my favorite map in battle mode. It's like almost like this weird island, and you've got the ocean all around you, and you've got some little spots that are blocked in. It's like, how do I get in there? There's question marks in there. There's items in there.
Yeah.
And you'd have to get the feather and jump at the right time and get in there.
Okay.
And I could get in there, get a banana peel, and I was so accurate. I could throw it and hit somebody out of it.
Wow.
And that's not talent. That's just that's all I did.
Well, that's also a little unfair.
Well, I mean, they had the option to do it too.
Well, had they owned the game, they had the option to do it too.
Well, they had Sonic. They were all right.
And I want to get into that later too. All the spin-off games from other franchises, not named Mario, because I think that and I don't think it was so much here. I think it was 64 that really brought all that on. But let's finish up Super Mario Kart. You said you love the Ghost House and the Bowser Course 1. Anything else really stick out to you that just?
Well, I mean, Rainbow Road, of course.
Yeah, Rainbow Road's just iconic now.
Yeah,
and everybody knows.
Every Mario Kart has to have a Rainbow Road. The Deluxe has like 4 or 5 of them.
Right. Well, it's different versions. It's just
they've got the Super Nintendo.
Yes,
and it's fantastic.
The smile on your face when you say that, it makes me happy. So we're going to move from a very great game that Hammy absolutely adores to one that Hammy absolutely despises.
I'm not going to say that I despise it.
Okay, well, let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the elephant in the room. The main reason, the number one reason you hated this game was
they got rid of Koopa Troopa.
Exactly.
Replaced him with friggin' Wario. Why? Best.
Because he was a Game Boy guy.
Well, anyway, whatever.
An antagonist to Mario.
Part of me hoped maybe you could unlock him, but
yeah. Yeah, and see, this was kind of a time before there was a whole lot of like unlockable characters and stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that, when we get to Double Dash.
But of all the Mario Kart games, I consider 64 the weakest.
Right. Not just obviously not your favorite. Now, see, Mario Kart 64 was the one that I played most.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I remember playing this in Walmart. Remember, Walmart used to always have the little demo stations. I played the crap out of this game, and Wario Stadium to me was probably my favorite.
It was the best, I think.
It wasn't super long like Rainbow Road is. Rainbow Road's it'll take you 2.5 minutes to get through.
I didn't like the Rainbow Road on 64. You couldn't fall off. There's no danger. It's like playing.
No, there was. You just
like playing bumper.
Had to jump. You had to jump over the little thing.
Was it bumper bowling or bumper pool or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to actively try to hurt yourself on that track.
Did they? I can't remember. Did they have the chain chomps on Rainbow Road on the first Mario Kart, like they did in 64?
I don't know. I think they did. I think they had chain chomps.
Okay, just random chain chomps jumping around. Or
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that probably. Again, just they took the technology that they had, they made it a little more 3D, give it some more depth. They got rid of Koopa Troopa and replaced him with Wario, but basically, other than that, all the other characters return. Nothing special about the karts. Again, the karts are just a little bit different, but even though they're different looking, they all perform the exact same.
Yeah. Well, it's always based on the
character.
Yeah.
Am I saying it wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, the karts yeah, and this one were the same. It was the characters that were different.
Right. Still had the light, medium, and heavy characters and the attributes that kind of went with it. Um, I really enjoyed the layout of a lot of these courses. Some weren't really a favorite. One particular was the Yoshi course because there's you don't know who's in first, you don't know who's in second.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because there's two different routes. So you start at the same route, then it branches off, then it comes back together at the end.
Dude, that was like freaking orangutan gang on Donkey Kong Country. It's like, what is going on?
Well, I was thinking it would make a great Donkey Kong course more than it would a Yoshi course.
It's like, why'd you call this Yoshi?
Because the Donkey Kong course, it's got the monkey. If you go off the course, it's got the monkeys that'll throw the coconuts at you, and it's got that big ramp where you have to go over the steamboat because Steamboat Mickey's in it for some reason. But again, I like the way they tied it back into other things that were going on, a la the Princess Peach course.
Yeah,
you could go off and find Peach's Castle.
Yeah, I like
which
the
is
stuff
from
like
Nintendo
that.
64.
Yeah.
So when you look, or from Mario 64. So when you go and look at Mario 64, again, that was a launch title, and research has gone back and said they only used about 60% of the hardware for that game because they didn't know exactly what all they had. But just on the other side of where Mario 64 starts is the Peach Race course. I just thought that was just a neat feature.
It's like, geez, Bowser, you kidnapped Peach and tried to murder me, but you know what? You're welcome to my Mario Kart party.
And that's something else we can touch on the backside too. Is there's no real story that goes with this, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. But it's like, hey, let's all go racing now, or hey, let's all go golfing now.
Well, it's funny how Bowser went from a serious, dangerous threat to, just frenemies with Mario. It's the only, franchise that does that. It's like, let's check in on Link and Ganon. Link stabbing Ganon through the face. Nope, they're still enemies.
Well, and this is one, and we'll get into this again at the end too. So I'll save that for the backside. But like you said, kind of the weakest one. I liked it because this is one of the ones that weird that weird Nintendo 64 controller actually kind of helped.
Yeah.
You had the joystick, which made it a little easier than playing with the D-pad.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course after the 64, everything's had an analog stick going forward. The Z button was right there on the bottom. So that that was your shoot button, and you had your R button there at the top.
The 64 controller gets a lot of flack, but
there's some games it really worked.
It had to be designed specifically for that controller.
Yes,
but when it worked, it worked.
Star Fox. I mean, obviously an airplane game with a single stick layout, it works. GoldenEye, not so much.
Oh, it worked with GoldenEye. I mean, before GoldenEye, it was the Wolfenstein Doom type stuff.
Yeah, but I don't want to say it didn't work. I'm just,
good God, it worked. It worked well.
Well, I'm just saying the one stick layout for something that's a first person shooter to me.
Well, they didn't have two stick until a generation or two later. In fact, the first game to use the two stick layout was, I think, Alien versus Predator. But anyway, when it came out, a reviewer for I can't remember the website or whatever.
IGN. Let's just call it IGN.
Said that the two stick layout was stupid and it would never
take off. I remember you telling me that.
But yeah, no, I mean that they didn't have two sticks. I mean they literally had never had a stick before. Right. It's like, what is this thing in the middle?
Well, I mean, I remember the first time I picked up 64 controller, I didn't know how to hold it. Like I was holding the two outside ears and didn't know what to do with the middle.
Yeah, well, I didn't know the Z button was back there the first time I played one.
Well, I mean, you want to see a weird controller? Look at the Virtual Boy controller. It had two D pads. So, but and we'll touch on Virtual Boy here coming up as well. I hate to not give it the credit where credit's due. I'll give it one thing. This is the first time the blue shell came about. So you talk about improvements.
And it didn't fly; it stayed on the ground the whole time.
Right, and it just completely sought out the number one racer. That's all it was there for.
I think this is the first one that gave you the multiple bananas and the multiple shells,
Right,
and in that mushroom that was like infinite for a little bit.
yes.
Which I don't know. How did you use it?
I press Z
Blam,
as
blam,
many
blam, blam,
times
blam.
as
Yeah.
I could while I had it.
Yeah, it's like, do I space it out? Do I spam it?
I just spammed it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the computer did it either. I never really paid attention.
Is this the first one where the enemies had special, like the NPCs? No, Super Mario Kart had it. That some of the enemies or the NPCs had special items you couldn't get. Like Yoshi could throw a shell that would land. And I forget what some of the other ones were.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, special items that they would throw because they couldn't pick up the item boxes. So they just had their own special things that they would use.
Okay. And they corrected that with 64 and let everybody get an item box, because a lot of times you'll be, drifting behind somebody, and I'm saying drifting in the fact of just following them, but you'll be drifting behind somebody and they'll get the box in front of you and you'll miss a box.
Right.
So it kind of leveled the playing field a little bit. But yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
But
Super.
Another thing in 64 I wasn't crazy about was the rubber banding.
Explain.
You know how when we just played,
Oh, when you go in front, all of a sudden somebody come right behind you, just slingshot around you.
well, you couldn't pull away from them.
Yeah.
We played Double Dash just a few minutes ago, and I could just about lap everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And in Super Mario Kart, I could lap everyone on Bowser's Castle.
Right.
On this one, it's like they always were able.
Well, I think that was kind of made like the further back you are, your cart actually goes a little bit faster.
Yeah.
To try to get you back with the pack.
It just, I don't know.
But I understand what you're saying. You can't really break away.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's still, in my opinion, the weakest, but doesn't make it a bad game.
No, it doesn't. But again, they took some things from the previous game and they improved on them.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that is the keynote in saying, hey, this will be a successful series going forward.
I really like a lot of the tracks, like the one with the train, and you could take off down the tracks.
Oh gosh, what is that called? Calamari
Desert.
Calamari Desert.
You had was it Toad's Turnpike?
Toad's Turnpike. That was another fun one.
Yeah, with the cars.
Yeah.
I always liked that. I mean, it had some really cool stuff. I think this one had a lot of really good shortcuts.
Yeah, the Koopa Troopa Beach.
Yeah, I remember that one. I could never.
Where you hit the long ramp and go through the mountain.
I never could get that.
I could, but it was, again, like you said, when you're in first place, it's hard to keep a mushroom to be able to hit that ramp because you can't do it without a mushroom. Right. How salty are you that they brought back Koopa Troopa Beach, but no Koopa Troopa?
Well, I think I was a Yoshi guy for 64.
I was gonna ask who your guy was.
Either Yoshi or Mario.
I think I mostly did Yoshi, but I wasn't against using like Toad because he was faster.
Yeah, I would use Toad sometimes.
Yeah. What let's see. The cape was not in 64. They took the cape out. I want to not necessarily that they actually replaced it with or the feathers, or not the cape.
Say, wait, what?
I say feather, or I say cape. I mean feather because feather gives you.
Yeah, feather was gone.
And I want to say they replaced, not in the sense of they actually replaced it, but they kind of replaced it with the blue shell.
Yeah.
So the ghost is back where you steal somebody else's item. You still got the lightning bolt. You still got red shell, blue shell, or red shell, green shell.
Was the ink thing on there?
No.
Okay, I don't remember when it came in.
That would have had to been later. Shoot, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Mushroom, infinite mushroom star.
Multiple bananas. That long line of bananas.
Now, I will say,
I did like that.
Going forward, because like you said, we just played Double Dash. I do like where you can make the force field of turtle shells around you and kind of hold them.
Yeah, or if you had one, you could hold it behind
You
you.
could hold it behind you the entire time, and pick up another item box.
Well, what was cool is if you were in first and you picked up a green shell, just hold that green shell behind you.
Yeah, and
Or
then,
you could hold the banana behind you, and if someone shot a red shell, it would deflect
right.
it.
So I mean, again, there's some things there that were good, and there's
Yeah,
some
I did
things
like
they
that a lot.
took off in Double Dash that I wish they had. That being one of them. I really, for some reason, I always liked the Luigi Raceway. It's very simple. I mean, it's
Mhm.
just pretty much an oval track for the most
Go
part.
fast, turn left.
Yep. I didn't care for the Mario Speedway because it seemed like it was a little more road coursey, I guess. Had some really sharp turns and things like that.
Real Watkins Glen there.
If you don't know what that is, go Google it. I did. Where are you at on like the Bowser's Castle and things like that?
I don't remember it from 64.
I remember Choco Mountain,
I remember the DK Jungle because if you went off the course,
the
something-
monkeys
yeah,
would throw the coconuts. Yeah. Gosh, wasn't there two? Hold on. What's the Moo Farms
yeah, with the cows, yeah.
with the cows and the moles that would come up?
Mm-hmm.
And then was there two ice courses? I want to say there was.
Mayhaps.
Seemed like one was more ice and one was more snow. Like one was Sherbert Island something. It seems like. I'm basing this off of memory. We should have probably prepared a little more.
Well, it's authentic. And I think with Mario Kart 64 is where we start seeing those competitors come in. Diddy Kong Racing,
Yes.
which I feel was vastly superior to Mario Kart 64.
Right. This was about the time you started getting your Crash Team Racing.
Yes, let's say CTR.
This is also about the time maybe when you started getting your Sonic Racing, but I think that might have been the next generation.
By the way, why is he driving a car?
The heck if I know. I never understood that. I don't want to get on a Sonic rant, but I mean, why are the people who say, "Hey, he's the fastest thing alive"? Hey, let's put him in a car because apparently that's faster.
I think he
Fastest thing alive means he's faster than a car.
Was he ever in a Mario Kart game?
No.
Okay.
And it's kind of a shame because they're such good buddies now.
On 8, you get a Sonic helmet for your Mii character.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
I love it. They did. Was there a time trial in Super?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a time trial in this one as well.
Because I didn't know what the ghost was. Like, well, I call it the ghost. It was like your previous lap was like a transparent version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that creeped me out when I first saw it. I was like, who's racing me?
You're
What's
right.
going on?
Well, this was the first time they kind of did the mirror mode too, where the tracks ran backwards.
Yeah.
And like you said, you race against a ghost character, but you had to. Did you have to have the save pack in that to do that, or was it like it was?
Ooh, that's a good question.
The memory card that you went.
Yeah, I'd have no idea. I didn't own this. I didn't own 64 until many, many, many years later. I just rented it or borrowed it. And was
okay. Here we go. Ghost data for up to 2 different courses can be saved permanently on the console on the controller device.
all the control. Yeah, the thing that plugged into the bottom.
Okay. And of course, they had the verse mode where it's 1 player versus 2 player, up to 4 players.
Yeah,
and that was one of the things because then you've got a 4-player co-op screen. As Hammy gets the cookies. This was one of the first like real party games I ever played.
keep going. You're good. A little difficult.
I remember playing this. Me, you, Casey, and maybe Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
Would all get together and we would play this. Of course, you and Casey were 10 times better than I was at it, but I love the fact that what was that one not good?
It's peanut butter. Ugh.
Oh, keep fishing. I think there's some oatmeal raisin in there.
Oh yeah.
You know, oatmeal raisin.
yeah.
Hey, let's pig trail here for a minute. Favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip, just traditional chocolate chip.
Mhm.
I like it.
Especially the chunky.
Chunky.
What, the chunky Chips Ahoy?
Yeah. Where are you at on the soft ones?
On the what now?
The soft, the chewy ones. The
I
chewy.
like them all right.
I like them okay, but if I'm going to eat them with milk, I don't like them. I like the drier ones because they
You can dip them.
yeah, they hold the milk a little better. All right, last one: Oreos or chocolate chip cookies? In general.
Chocolate chip.
Okay, and then dipped with milk.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? So if you got a bag of Oreos and you got a bag of Chips Ahoy, and you want to dip it in milk, which one you go into?
Chips Ahoy.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
I know some people will try to kill me for that. I like Oreos, but man, I love Chips Ahoy.
I think I'm the same way. I think the Oreo's a little too sweet sometimes. Like you can only, again, this is coming from a fat person, but you can only eat so much of them because they're too sweet. Because you got the cookie and you got the cream.
They're just too sweet.
All right, so back on Mario Kart 64. And that's it. Let me ask you a question. In the Luigi Raceway, there's the one item box that is on the hot air balloon that continually goes up and down. Have you ever gotten it?
I doubt it.
Well, you didn't play this very much. Did you actually own this game at any point?
I do now.
But you didn't?
No, when I was a kid.
Okay. Well, so I didn't have a 64 because we weren't going to pay that kind of money for it at the time.
64 was the first console I saved up and bought myself.
Yeah. What else are we talking about here?
Double Dash.
The game was originally supposed to feature the character Kamek, who is the villain from Yoshi's Island, before being replaced by Donkey Kong. So they were about to make this game without Koopa Trooper and without Donkey Kong.
Mistakes all the way around. They should have fired everyone who came up with that idea.
Soundtrack.
Let's move on. Double Dash.
Well, let's go to your before we go there. This was technically supposed to be the third game in the series.
Yeah.
So when the Virtual Boy was supposed to be the next big thing, they had a Virtual Boy Mario Kart in the works that was going to be red in all its glory.
That would have induced
you want to talk about
seizures.
what color shell you don't have?
I thought I had the red one.
They're all red. Given that was a commercial failure, and I point because I've got one here here in the studio. Given the fact that it was a commercial failure, had that game come out, do you think it would have sold more Virtual Boys?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Because they had Mario Clash, which was kind of like...
I had 20/20 vision before I used your Virtual Boy. Now my license says I'm legally blind.
That's funny and very true. Gosh, I remember playing that thing. It was great.
It's basically like taking a laser pointer, just shine it right into your retina.
Basically, did. Here's the thing: I used to always wish that thing had a headset, like a band on it, so I could just strap it around and just look around.
Yeah.
Instead of the little stand. I'd take it off the stand and I would bury it in between two pillows, and I'd lay on my stomach and look down on the bed. That way, I could.
How did you breathe?
Very slowly. That's why I have brain damage. They had a Mario game, which was kind of like the original Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers. It was kind of a 3D, and you could throw shells to each side to get rid of enemies. And they had Wario Land, and those are the two kind of best. Well, and they had the original Mario Tennis was on Virtual Boy,
and the Mario Tennis on 64 is outstanding.
So again, spinoffs, Mario spin. Put Mario on it or in it, and it's going to sell. It's crazy. I mean, Nintendo could just, at that time, they were printing money.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, they had Doki Doki Panic. It's like Americans aren't going to buy that crap. Put Mario in it.
Exactly. Doki Doki Panic. Never thought you'd make that reference. But yeah, I just wonder how it would have looked and been developed if it could have possibly saved the Virtual Boy.
I don't think anything was saving the Virtual Boy. It's too niche.
It really is. You want to play it?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to find one for decent price on eBay as we speak.
Good luck. Right now, everything video game is expensive.
If we get that other stimulus package, I might just blow the whole thing on Virtual Boy.
Anyway, well, if you come across one, I would like to find a battery pack for it. And I also need the shade, the little cloth shade that goes around it.
Oh yeah.
It's been in a storage box and that was disintegrated. So
where have you been storing these things?
In just a plastic
in a warehouse by the Lost Ark from Indiana Jones.
All right. So we're done. 64 is done.
Yep.
It still had a battle mode, three balloons, yada yada yada. Okay, so now we're done with 64, right?
Yep.
Completely, forever, to be erased from our memories.
Yep. Burn all your copies.
All right, now we're going to talk about quite arguably Hammy's favorite version of Mario Kart.
It's
top 2 for sure.
Easily top 2.
I mean, I'm sure the newest one because of all the stuff that it's got.
Oh yeah, I mean 8 Deluxe is amazing.
And we're going to touch on something else as well that would probably make it absolutely heads and tails above the rest, your favorite, but Double Dash. So this was a very, very neat concept. Mm-hmm. So everybody from Mario 64 is back, although Toad is a unlockable character in this one. But everybody is back, and everybody has a
buddy.
Sure, that'll work, buddy. So they've added some characters. So Mario's got Luigi, and Peach has Daisy. Daisy's in this one.
Right.
Yoshi had Birdo,
mm-hmm.
Which is, again, funny because you got a good guy, bad guy combination.
Well, Birdo's, I guess, a good guy now.
Okay.
She did her time. She's rehabilitated.
From the Yoshi Island kind of stuff, you've got the baby versions of Mario and Luigi,
which is odd.
You've got Koopa Troopa
who's back
with Paratroopa.
Yeah, you just gave me 2 Koopas. You've made up for it. All the sins.
This could have been the
N64.
crappiest. This could have been the crappiest version of this series, but they put the Koopas in it, so you're happy.
I can get 2 of
them. Who else is in it?
You got
Bowser and Baby Bowser.
Yeah, you got Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong's in this one.
Diddy Kong's not in 8. I don't know. Understand that.
There's all kind of questions on that. Diddy Kong's in this one, who just starred in his own racer the previous generation, and then you've got Wario and Waluigi. Is this the first time Waluigi's been in a game? I might be wrong in saying that.
I don't know. I really don't know. That's a good question.
Maybe surely he was in a party game.
I think so.
And it's just the backwards L version of the backwards M version of Mario.
Yeah. I like how the W is the perfect inverse of M, and there's nothing for the
There's nothing for L, so let's just reverse it. What is this, the Robinson Law Firm?
We'll probably get sued.
Probably so. I doubt anybody actually listens to this anymore. We've been gone too long.
I actually had never hit record.
Well, that's gonna hurt. So the what am I trying to say? Zelda has these. What do you call it? It's the
rupees.
No, the thing that just really
bokoblins.
God Almighty, what is it called? The staple. That's it. Staple. The staple for this game. The big selling point for this game is you always have a buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why you have a buddy basically is to carry more stuff.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 racers where you can, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this works or not because I've only gotten the 2 Koopas, but I think you can get like a light racer and heavy racer, and it's like, oh, I'll use a light racer to take off fast and swap to the heavy racer for that top high speed.
Okay.
I don't know if you can do that because this one has the karts have their own stats.
Well, and that's what I was going to get to too. The karts have their own stats. So there's speed, acceleration, and
handling.
your basic cart that you always start out with is pretty balanced. Your Koopa mobile thing
Is absolute perfection.
is kind of balanced. The Waluigi Wario Kart is pretty balanced. The cart that Mario and Luigi have is pretty balanced. When you start unlocking these carts by beating races, winning cups with different characters and different combinations of characters, it starts. You can get one that's a little higher in acceleration, but maybe a little lower in handling. So it's a give and take, but it allows for a certain sense of customization,
Right. And
um,
allows it to be tailored more towards your play style.
right? Which is very neat. Um, the 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 other thing is the switch mode. So, like you said, you could use the attributes of each character. We think because we've never played with anybody but the Koopas, but
Yeah, when you played through, you probably should have gotten 2 other characters.
yeah, just to say we did anyway. But um, you can get the single boxes like you could in 64, and you could also get double boxes, which gives you and your partner an item box at the same time.
Now you could pick one up with one guy, swap to the other one real quick,
And pick
hit another
another
one. Yeah.
Right. So the good and the bad with this is because you could literally have your first teammate with 3 red shells and your second teammate with 3 red shells. It could happen.
No, it couldn't.
Could it not?
No, because the 3 red shells were special. This is the one that had certain characters had special pickups that only they could get.
Right. So like Bowser had the big shell.
Right.
And Yoshi
Paratrooper had the 3 red shells, and Koopa had the 3 green shells. And they didn't spin around you this time. They held them in one hand as they drove.
or juggled them.
Yeah, or yeah.
They juggled the green one. No, they juggled.
Yeah, you're
the
right.
Red.
When he was on the back, he would juggle it, and when he
Right.
was in front, he would just hold it,
Right.
like bouncing them.
Um,
Donkey Kong had the giant banana.
Right. I don't know about anybody else. We never played as them.
I think Yoshi had like a big egg or
I
something.
was going to say an egg, but I don't know.
I really don't. I just played as the Koopas.
Well, I mean, when you find the best, why go anywhere else?
Exactly. You saw what I could do with the Koopas.
Yeah, you were pretty BA on this game.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that through college, Jeff and our good friend Eric G and myself had some intense tournaments on this game.
Yeah.
And we would play through every race and see who, because you could do that. You could do like random races and it would keep up with your points.
Right.
And once
because
you
this
got,
had memory card, it could keep up with everything.
Right. And once you got through all, and there's like what, 16?
4, yeah.
Yeah. Then we would see who would be the champion. And Jeff even took a paper plate and drew over it like a cup. Because I was the last one to win it. I don't know where it's at. I hope it didn't get thrown out, but
it could have.
it was some pretty crazy stuff. We were tight. It was never no one ever just ran away with it. It usually came down to the last race.
Well, and that was the thing about this game. Anybody could pick it up within 3 minutes. You know what to do: stop, go, and
shoot
item, and maybe power turn, maybe drift.
Just didn't have the hop.
No, there was no hop. It just drifted. I thought it was weird that this game made everything to look like a soapbox racer. So when you start a race, your number 2 is always pushing.
Yeah.
No matter if it's uphill or downhill or
well,
whatever.
you're starting off on a flat surface most of the time.
But I just thought that was kind of neat.
Now your second person had to was the one who threw the item. If you wanted to throw an item with the person driving,
you had to switch.
Right. So even though, and we talked about recovery time on Super Mario Kart was so slow.
Well, that's where I was going when we were talking about where I thought they could both have red shells. But I know you could have a red and a green, but you can shoot your 3 as Paratrooper, the red Koopa, and you can shoot your other 3 as the green Koopa.
Mm-hmm.
But because you had 6 different shells, it seemed like if you put it down an item box, whether it be a fake item box, which was in 64. We forgot about that one. A banana, or if you shot a shell, the recovery time was just automatic. It's like
fast.
it slowed you down to 0, and then immediately you could speed back up.
You could, and we saw it when you played.
Yeah.
You had 3 red shells.
Mhm.
You hit the person in front of you. They recovered. You hit them 2 more times. It
And
took
then
all 3
passed.
shells to pass them.
Right.
Yeah, recovery time was about instant, but there were some times when your back person could get knocked off and they were being dragged.
Right.
And that would kind of keep you from using an item for a while. Didn't keep you from driving.
Well,
it just kept you
also,
from using
if
an
you
item.
ended up getting an item, and we go to the shells all the time because that's their special power up. But if you had 3 shells and you get hit, you drop 2 of them. You only got 1, so you had the one that was still in your hand.
Yeah. So this game, to me, I think Double Dash was more about the racing than it was the items.
Yes.
I think sometimes the game would focus too much on the items.
Right.
And this, because you had that fast recovery, because if the second guy got knocked off, he could still drive. He just didn't have access to your
Right.
items. It was more about, who is better with the driving.
Right.
And so I think that's why I loved it so much.
Um,
Because I love the driving in these games more than anything.
favorite course?
On Double Dash,
Yeah.
Baby Mario.
The Baby Mario Bristol Speedway.
Yeah. Short.
We are
7,
showing. I'm showing my redneckism a
Yeah.
little bit here.
Short 7. It was short track, had 7 laps instead of
double
3.
the laps instead of 3.
Oh my gosh, because it's all about the turning, and I love the Koopas.
Mhm.
I love the handling. I love the driving, so it's just perfect for me.
And another fun, and Rainbow Road is meant to be just a fun course. There's just
Yeah.
a lot going on.
It was a really good Rainbow
This
Road.
Rainbow Road was really good. I don't know if anything else really. I mean, there's some tracks that really stand out. I'm not saying they don't stand out, but they're not. It doesn't seem like they're as iconic. There's some really good tracks.
Well, it's funny because there are more racers in our tracks.
Yeah, in this one there are. There's only 16 tracks with the 4 cups,
Mm-hmm.
and there's.
You start off with 16 racers.
You start off with 16, and you get the
Toadette,
and then King Boo and Piranha.
Yeah.
Piranha.
So you go up to 20.
Yeah.
Pete. Piranha Pete.
That's it. I did not play this game coming up. Again, not a Nintendo guy until late. Well, really, you think about it, outside of just retro gaming, I'm still not a Nintendo. I've got a Switch. Well, Maisie's got a Switch. But I do play the Switch quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And I played the NES. And that's it. You talk about bookends? That's been it. Everything else I bought is a retro system later. Like, hey, I didn't play this game, let me play it, kind of
And
thing.
you're seeing what you missed.
I am. This right here was a great game. I had a lot of fun playing it with you.
Yeah, Double Dash. I don't know. I'm not ready to say it's my favorite because I haven't played enough of 8.
It was until 8 started giving it competition. It was by far your favorite until you started playing.
Yeah,
it.
if I put as much time into 8 as I did Double Dash, it'll probably overtake it. But let me tell you what, Nintendo has said that they're still going to support and possibly come out with more DLC for 8.
Mm-hmm.
If they came out,
this is where I wanted to go.
Yeah, if they said we're going to add a Double Dash mode to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe,
mm-hmm.
I would just start throwing money at my computer or wherever I watched that announcement. I don't care how much it costs. So, but it's a free download. Take my money. Just shut up and take my money.
So was it 8 that they started putting characters from other franchises into it, like your Links? And
I don't know.
Okay,
because I played the 3 that we've talked about today. I played a lot. I didn't play the one on Game Boy Advance.
I didn't play the game one. That's actually the 3rd one in the series.
Yeah, I didn't play. So that's 4. 5 was the Wii.
I played a little bit of Wii.
I've played it
right
once.
Here.
I've played it once,
and it's all motion control, and that's why you hate it.
No. I played it once at Best Buy, and
we love free games.
It was a demo at Best Buy, and it had the steering wheel. I got Koopa. I won the first race
and said, "I don't need this."
I said, "I'm gonna go out like John Denver." John Elway. Probably need to edit that out.
Country road.
Nah, I'm gonna keep that in.
Take me home. God, Denver. I can't believe you just.
Well, I was thinking John Elway in Denver. But I'm gonna go out and top like John Elway did. Didn't John Elway? Did he ever win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, he won 2 back to
Okay.
back. He got out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out like John Elway at Denver.
You're not going to get any better than that.
So I'm undefeated.
John Denver died of plane crash.
Oh, God rest his soul. I'm undefeated at Mario Kart Wii.
Oh my God.
So wait, hold on.
I
Super
played
Mario
it.
Kart
Yeah.
64, Game Boy Advance, which was called whatever.
Super Circuit.
Double Dash. Wii.
Well, there's one on DS, Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart DS.
Okay. When was 7? Was that 3DS?
7 was 3DS. Yes.
Okay. So I didn't play the handheld ones.
Okay.
So
yeah, so
I don't know if they had.
And I don't know where the arcades come into this, because there's an arcade Grand Prix.
You got the live circuit too, the actual radio control,
the home circuit. Yeah. Because there's,
I saw those at Walmart today, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I don't have room. Clint's got enough room in his house to play it.
I don't have.
Well,
my wife doesn't have.
They're still very expensive.
Are they?
Yeah, like $90.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the old ones that you had to put together that had the little cars with the little pieces of metal on the bottom of them.
Yeah.
That had the D batteries or whatever. You pull the trigger and they go around. You had to slow down the turns or it'd fly off.
Yeah.
That's what those remind me of.
It's pretty neat. You operate it with the switch too.
Yeah.
So,
make the series better. Obviously, you said let's finish up and then we'll go into if, buts, and whatnot.
Okay. All right. Double Dash. Trying to think of new items in it. Everyone had their special items.
Everyone had their special, and I don't know.
Could be seen as a good or bad thing. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe some of them were, a little overpowered.
I was really happy with the Koopas having the 3 shells apiece, because I got pretty accurate with the green shells. Red shells, you don't have to be accurate. The blue shell.
Double Dash is the only game in the Mario Kart series to allow cooperative gameplay so far.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I could play as one racer.
Yeah, we did.
And we did one time, yes. Double Dash supports LAN play using the Nintendo GameCube broadband adapter, which allows up to 16 players to complete simultaneously. Holy crap.
Wow.
That's now, if only Nintendo's online service was worth a flip.
Yeah, they've got part of it there.
You had stars, you had your mushrooms, and those would appear on the track kind of randomly at times too.
Well, I think what would happen is if you were holding the mushroom, you got hit by something, you dropped it, and it just stayed there. Because sometimes you'd run into like a shell that's just sitting there on the track. I think Star Road had stars that would land sometimes on the track. But anyway, and the blue shell flew instead of staying on the track. It actually flew in this one.
This one had some pretty neat things about it. Like you could get to the Donkey Kong Island and be shot through a barrel.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like
cool reference.
The gliding that you see in 8, where like your vehicle transforms into a different kind of vehicle. But it kind of put some of those elements into it where you were being shot across the map and things like that. And they put a dang rainbow elevator in Rainbow Road, which was pretty neat.
Well, and this one too, I mean, Super Mario Kart was flat. Everything was flat. But I mean, that's all they could do. Mario 64 had some, I think, did it have hills or was it flat?
64?
Yeah. No, it did. It had hills and ramps. Yeah. And this one was a lot more up and down, a lot more 3-dimensional.
Yeah, it was.
Now 8, holy cow, that's very 3-dimensional.
All right, so The special items, and I'm looking this up. The special items: Mario and Luigi had fireballs.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong had giant bananas. Bowser and Bowser Jr. had a Bowser shells, which is just a big spiked uh, shell, turtle shell. Yoshi and Birdo had eggs. Peach and Daisy had hearts. It's weird.
Never seen that.
Mario and Waluigi had bombs. Koopa Troopa and Paratrooper had the triple shells. Toad and Toadette had the golden mushrooms, and the baby Mario and Luigi had chain chomps. Sorry.
Which
Petey Piranha and King Boo had a unique ability to use any of the other character special items, excluding Luigi's green fireball and Birdo's pink egg.
So the chain chomp on this one, I think it.
There's a couple of tracks that had it.
Yeah.
But then the kids would launch one at you.
Yeah, and did it pull you on this one? I know it does in the new ones.
No, it doesn't, because you avoided one and then it knocked Bowser and Baby Bowser off the map, and
expertly avoided one.
Yes. And I tell you what, it doesn't track, but the green shells seem to be a little easier to get to where you want them to go. They're a little easier to aim, and probably a little more forgiving, I guess is more what I'm saying. Where in the past, you shot it and it went straight wherever you were pointing at the time. These seem to be a little more, if you're trying to hit somebody right in front of you, maybe they're just a little to the left or the right, it would still hit them.
Are you trying to take away from an amazing aim with green
shells?
No,
but that was most impressive. The number of times you hit people with green shells. And here's the thing, too. When you would ricochet them off and you still would hit them, even better.
I'm telling you,
you're like the revolver ocelot of green shells.
That comes from all those intense matches with Jeff and Eric. But yeah, Double Dash, absolutely love it. 8, I think, though, is still is the better game.
Well, like AJ Styles said.
Mm-hmm. Our good friend of the Hammond's Fam Retro
friend of
review.
the show. What did he say? He said that it's, if you just base it on nostalgia, it's got to be Super. Super's got to be the best, but it got better as it went, and that's kind of what we've tried to establish.
Yeah.
So, so does that wrap up Double Dash for the most part?
I think so.
All right. So improvements. The obvious improvement is they have started including other characters into like 8. Like Link is a part of 8 now.
Yeah.
And that's somebody from another franchise.
Animal Crossing villagers.
Animal Crossing people are there, and they've added some characters like Metal Mario, the Shy Guys, people like that.
Oh, the Splatoon.
Yeah. And see, I don't know all of those, but would it be a better seller, which it's already a great seller, so I'm not, don't take that for what it sounds like, but could it do better if it incorporated other franchises as well? Meaning, hey,
you don't want to turn it into Smash Racing.
Okay, that's where I was going, because Smash is pretty popular.
Yeah. I mean,
let's get Solid Snake out there on a dirt bike.
They've got the great characters. I think, just keep it Nintendo. Although it would be pretty awesome to see Banjo-Kazooie.
Right.
Because Banjo is in Diddy Kong Racing.
Mm-hmm. So you can drive.
Yeah. I wish they'd add Diddy Kong back. I don't know why they don't, but I mean, I think what they've got's good.
You put a Pikachu out there. I mean,
yeah,
at least maybe with just the Nintendo franchises.
And even, from Zelda, add Princess Zelda.
Yeah.
Which
I'm sure we're missing some. Isn't the guy from F-Zero
Captain Falcon?
Yeah, Captain Falcon. Isn't he in it?
I don't think so.
I thought he was. See, that's another franchise that Nintendo's just
he would just be happy to be in another game.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely true. They had one for 64, and that was it. That's the last one, is it not? Yeah, F-Zero and then F-Zero 64, I believe.
Perhaps.
I
think there's one for GameCube.
There might be. I didn't do much GameCube.
I think there was one for GameCube.
Well, that's another franchise that people are kind of clamoring for a little bit. There's not a huge, huge following for that, but there's some that would like to see a new one out. And I enjoyed the original F-Zero. But I think it would be neat to like have Sonic and Mario go against each other. I think it'd be neat. It's not. It's not needed.
Sonic just get out of the car and run.
Well, let's not go there. But again, we talked about it too. That this spun off other games. Diddy Kong Racing being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic Team Racing, Sonic All Star Racing, whatever you want to call it. Crash Team Racing was another.
Nickelodeon has a racing game coming out.
Okay,
I'll take SpongeBob and whatever other characters.
Rugrats, maybe.
I think so.
Oh,
actually.
Well, there you go. I just pulled that out of my hind end. So yeah, I mean, this was very instrumental in video game history.
Yeah, well,
just in general.
It worked. It was people saw that it was successful. They wanted to emulate that, but
and it had Mario in it.
You're talking about improvements. Of course, Double Dash mode would be outstanding to me. Mainly because you could also have cooperative with that. I think it'd be cool if like the second person could only be pointing towards the back if they wanted to.
Yeah.
So they could be watching the back and they control all the items.
But. Yeah, because we mentioned a little bit, this one didn't have that force field of bananas, or you couldn't drag the item behind you. You had to shoot it behind you.
Right.
So I mean, again, there's some things that they took away that you wish they had. What about something like, I don't want to say create your own character because they have the me thing, and I'm not big on the me things. What about like a custom course, like create your own course?
I think just more courses. I think one of the biggest draws of Mario Kart 8 is there are so many courses.
Yeah.
And I love that they brought back a lot of classics and they had some new
did
ones.
A lot of retro courses.
I would like to see more of that. Just a ton of places to race.
What if they did like the Mortal Kombat trilogy of Mario Karts and put every course on there? Just a 3D. Shoot, it don't even have to be a 3D updated version. Just put that course in there. Put the 3D racers in there.
I'd buy that. But I mean, I'm trying to think. I think that would be just more customization options.
Yeah.
To really deck out your cart. Maybe not so much your character because you're playing with their IPs.
Well, you can pretty much customize your carts in 8, right?
Yeah, you can, but just certain parts,
like different tires.
Yeah, different tires. Stuff like
better
that.
for
change your parachute or hang glider or whatever.
But it's not like it's just it changes the look of it. It doesn't change. It doesn't make it fly faster or anything, does it?
The chute, no, it doesn't.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's a couple of things there that could be improved upon.
I'm sure that when 9 eventually comes out
in 20 years from now,
they'll have thought of something that we didn't. That is great. That's why they make the big bucks.
Yeah, and they won't make more by making Zelda 35. But anyway, we've talked enough about Zelda 35 in the past.
Or not enough.
Mayhaps. So I do want to end on a rant really quickly.
Do it.
The Nintendo Wii. We have crapped on the Nintendo Wii a lot on this show, and I understand that we have. But here is the latest crap that I'm going to give the Nintendo Wii. So I personally do not own a GameCube, but my Nintendo Wii will play GameCube games, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like the fact that I have to use my Wii remote to select to play the disc, the GameCube disc. I can't hook up my GameCube controller and hit A and it just go to GameCube. I have to find batteries, then I have to find the stupid sensor
and set it up,
and then use the little wand to go up to the little selection thing and hit A, and then it finally load up, and then I can use my GameCube controller. I don't think that was very well thought out.
Well,
at least, give me the option to select it with the GameCube controller if you're going to put that option out there.
Well, it doesn't work for you because that's the only GameCube you got. If you got a GameCube, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
But why would I want a GameCube when I got something that does them both? Why would I want a PlayStation 1 if I already have a PlayStation 2?
Because then you have to mess with the Wiimote.
That's a valid point.
I just didn't like the Wii myself.
Just,
If they had
gimmick.
gone straight to the Wii U, I would probably never have gotten a 360.
Really?
I was 100% Nintendo. I didn't even consider anything else. It wasn't that I thought that they were crap. It's just Nintendo had everything I wanted. And then the Wii, I remember because they called it the Revolution or the Dolphin. No, the Dolphin was the N64. Revolution was the code name for the Wii. And everybody was speculating what it's going to be. And I'll never forget in like 05 or 06, I was at the apartment in Jacksonville. And I had to keep refreshing this page. This guy was basically live, well, not even tweeting, but live texting. He was at the show where they were revealing the Wii. And as things started coming in, motion control, this and that, and they showed it, I could feel my heart just sink. Because I was like, I don't like that.
Right.
This is too weird. And then it came out, and it's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So then I swapped to an Xbox player after that. I went through that entire generation without having a Wii. I missed entire generation of Nintendo games.
I think the thing that really turned me off to Nintendo was the kiddie games, meaning your Pokemons and whatnot.
Oh no, I don't mind those.
I
like
never
those.
got into that, and because it was the games were transforming.
Well, things about
and becoming more adult oriented because the kids.
No, see, but with games though, you have the option of not buying them. But with the system, when it's the entire system, that's a different thing. But no, man, like look at Nintendo now. Pokemon has outsold like
because
everything.
people find that fascinating and it's still appealing to a younger generation. And the older generation that's played it before.
Oh, I would say your average Pokemon fan's in the mid-30s.
Yeah, well, I'm not doubting that, but you've got a whole generation of kids that just love the little monster things about it. Here is where I can point to.
You got a whole generation of kids who play Fortnite.
Yeah, you got a point there too, and Animal Crossing. Haha, jab.
No, that's adults there.
Here's the thing I point to. Nintendo tried to make their system more of a family system, and they almost pushed that so much that they put themselves in a corner. And you can point to Mortal Kombat.
I would say they tried to make it more of a casual system because they still had some pretty mature games on Wii. I mean, your Metroids, they had the Metroid Prime trilogy.
Yeah, but to me, that's, well, I mean, that maybe that's another debate, but to me, that doesn't necessarily scream adult. That's taking a franchise that was casual, like you said, and tried to make it into something that it never was really intended to be. Not that it was a bad game or a bad series, but I don't think it was ever intended to be a first-person shooter and to be as dark as it ended up becoming. But to me, it appealed more to kids and more to families. That's why the Wii sold so well. Just because, hey, look, you can take this, you can go bowling, and you can do this, you can do this. There are Call of Duty games, but I think the graphic nature of it's really been toned down.
Maybe then, not now.
No, maybe not so much now, but like I said, you can kind of point to.
See, I'm thinking it's because of the casual nature of the Wii, because it's such a departure from your classic.
I think it's a classic. I think
console.
It's the. Hold on, how'd you say that? Would you say the casual nature of the Wii? I think it's the casual nature of Nintendo as a company. Personal opinion. Like I said, we can debate this, but
I'm not following there. But no, what lost me on the Wii was the motion controls, and that's what sold it for a lot of people because you can have me mauling there, bowling and boxing with you.
Yeah,
and they thought it was fun because it wasn't just sitting there pressing buttons.
We would like to play.
I like to sit there and press buttons.
Yeah. But see, even the Wii U to a certain extent kind of had a little bit of that too. Not as much.
Yeah, and see, I missed out on the Wii generation, and it hurt me because It's Skyward Sword, which when I finally got a Wii a long time later and tried to play Skyward Sword, I was like, I can't play this. It's just terrible because of the controls. And the Wii U, when I don't know, the Wii U, one thing is the most horribly named system besides maybe the Xbox Series X. And they had already lost me with the Wii. It wasn't until Switch that I'm starting to go back into being a Nintendo fanboy.
I'm slowly getting there, and it's not that anybody else has done anything wrong. It's just I'm getting to a point in my life to where I would like to just get lost in a game. It's not a competitive thing. We've talked numerous times about just coming in, playing 30 minutes of Tetris and going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got other games that I'm playing through for the review for this season, and I need to put some more time in them, but it's just those are games you have to do a little bit more with. You don't necessarily just come in and mind-numbingly play.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them. Some people can do that, and Lord knows I used to be able to do that. I could get on and play 3 rounds of Mortal Kombat and be completely fine. I'd come in and play 2 games of NCAA football and be fine. But, you know, you put like a Symphony of the Night, you know, when we played it, it was hard to find the time, but B, it was hard for me to find the motivation to do it. Not that it was a bad game, not that I didn't want to play it. It was just with the busy lifestyle and schedule and everything, it's hard to just, I've got to put 4 hours right now into this game. And it's hard to do that.
You get burnt out.
Right.
And I get the same way. Sometimes I'll go through a phase where I just don't even want to play a game. Like I just kind of get burnt out on them.
Yeah.
And then I'll go through phases. I think I've played 4 or 5 different games today.
Yeah. So, well, let's end our season premiere episode.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to give a couple of shout outs. Daniel Monies, I believe that's his name. How you
spell it?
Do I really want to tell people on the podcast how to spell his last name?
Well, I mean, they'll figure it out.
Moniz. Moniz. Daniel. There we go. For those that don't know, Daniel was the guy I kind of gave some crap to because he said I was plugging the show too much on a Facebook group one time.
Mayhaps you were. I don't know.
And anyway, we got to talking, and apparently he's a really big fan now because of that. He reached out back in early July. Want to know when we're coming back. Well, Daniel, I'm giving you a shout out. Thanks for reaching out. This is our debut episode. You've gotten a shout out.
Debuting on August 1st.
That's great. And we hope to have
Atlanta Falcons.
Miami. Remember that, the Duff Bowl where Homer's betting and he's paying like $25 a minute trying to figure out the point spread. He's like, the game between Dallas and Miami and Miami. It's just dragging that whole phone call out. Oh, it's funny. But yeah, we're glad to be back. We've had some interactions with our normals. Jeremy's wife reached out. She recommended a movie for us to review this season. And
really?
Yeah.
What movie?
Willow.
Oh, yes.
Jeremy,
great movie.
Jeremy recommended The Goonies, and I know that's kind of been on our short list to do because it's just an iconic classic movie, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna throw some out there, and if you have made it this far into this podcast and you have a recommendation for
Willow,
a movie,
also known as Opie's Hobbit.
What?
Yep.
What? Oh,
wait,
wait, hold
on. Did Ron Howard do that?
That's a Spielberg film, wasn't it? Well, shoot. Why are we doing research on something we're not supposed to be talking about?
I'll research it. You keep talking.
Spielberg, E.T., Jurassic
Ron
Park.
Howard. Ron Howard directed.
Okay, so it's Ron Howard's Hobbit.
Yep. Opie.
Opie. Okay, I got what you said now. What didn't they make a second one? Second Goonies?
Second Goonies?
Yeah.
I think they were going to. I don't know if they ever went through with it.
I thought it was like Caddyshack 2, where they just made it. It was so terrible that they just tried to bury it along with all the E.T. Atari games.
The Goonies 2.
Anyway,
it's not happening.
It's not happening?
No, it's probably for the best.
Okay.
Just like Top Gun 2 shouldn't probably happen. Who knows? Maybe to surprise everybody.
There's a Goonies video game. Maybe we could tie that back into it. It'd be fun. So, just glad to be back. Glad to be talking. Just in general, this has been fun. Been very, very good to catch up and just talk about stuff for a little while. So, anyway, if you get a chance, check out Talk or Go Home. Podcast with myself and Nick Wilson, and sometimes with another guest. Season 4 will be out sometime soon as well. So it's been a busy week, or been a busy summer so far.
It has.
So, all right. Well, until next week, we will. We got to come up with a way to end these things better. You figure after 4 seasons, we'd have this down pat. We'll see you next time, San Diego. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. All right. We're going.